Okay, so I obviously want to talk about the Fuzz Goblin because that's my thing. And this picture, you're seeing it, right? Yeah. It's my first one that I did of the Fuzz Goblin, and it's from an exhibition that we had at my studio in Stockholm. And the theme was strangers. And I was in a rush and I was thinking like what to do. We had this group exhibition, so each artist provided one piece of work. And the theme strangers, I was just thinking like, how do Swedes meet strangers? And I think we're kind of, we're so nice. Like we have good hearts, but we're also very nervous. And we want to do it like just right. So when we approach strangers or when we are approached by strangers, I think it makes us very nervous. And so I wanted to illustrate that with this stare, like we kind of freeze a little bit and we want to be kind, but we're not sure what to say or how to do it right as to not offend the other person. So I think that's what I was trying to capture with this kind of stare and this one person with the back to us, being met by a lot of Swedes who doesn't really know what to do. But they want to do something, but we kind of freeze up in our willingness to be kind, but also the nervousness of doing it in the just the right way. So it started in 2017, and then I've developed this character and worked with it in a lot of different ways. And it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And I really enjoy it. I enjoy making it in different materials, and I'll just show you a few examples. If I can change, yeah, here we go. It's printed here on a tote bag. It's also made in pixel art and might actually appear in a video game sometime soon. That would be awesome, right? Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. And this is my friend and colleague to the right, Jenny, with the life-size Fuzz Goblin that I've made, that I've also taken on trips with me. I've exhibited him in Denmark. I took him on the night train. I bought his own bed. And so the other passengers in the compartment were a bit surprised to share a compartment with this thing, but it went well. And I've also taken him up north in Sweden and exhibited him there. And this life-size effigy is it brings smiles to people's faces. So a few people think it's scary, but usually people feel it's kind of endearing, like they want to take care of it, and they look scared and a little bit confused, so they want to give it a hug. Yeah. Yeah, and so I made it into many different forms, and I've exhibited it in different places. So to the left, there are these heads that I've made installations with, and I put them in like narrow spaces and put special kind of bright lights or colorful lights on them that moves, and it makes it kind of spooky. And then I made this cute little stuffed animal that's more of a, looks like a child's toy, right?
Yeah, but then you have the one in on the photo on the left, you have the goblin's head in the back on like a trash bag. It's like you're have a body
Yeah,
back there.
that's from the
Love it.
takedown of an exhibition. So it's, yeah, it looks kind of bad, doesn't it? Yeah, and here's our favorite rabbit with the Fuzz Goblin. This is from last year in Stockholm.
Yeah,
And
that's me visiting.
yeah,
But you know, a lot of people think that like you were also in a costume. So everybody thinks
yeah,
that it's not just a stuffed animal. It's like it feels like you're also in the costume. So that's the next thing you should do.
yeah. I know I have to build a costume. It seems difficult though, but I'll I'll think of something.
I
you've
like
made
that. I look
you've made
slim
this one already,
standing
so.
next to it.
Yeah, it's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my studio with a lot of fuzz goblins in it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening.
Do you have any photos from Valencia that you did it in, like land art?
Oh, yeah, I do.
And your one that you did,
With leaves also.
your other land art one that you did back home.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up my Instagram for that. Here's
Yeah.
Valencia.
Here's the
Yeah.
Valencia. Yeah.
The quickly ones that you passed was like with this installation in Belgrade. Also,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Valencia one, the sand one. And I think maybe, should I try to pull up my Instagram?
Yeah, because that one is really cool. Now, do you guys have snow or is it all melted now?
We don't have snow. We had hail today, but no more snow.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I wanted to do a snow one this winter. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't. I didn't have the time, unfortunately. So
maybe
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, because it's the time dedication, right? Like you spent how many days? 4 days going out every morning for the one in Valencia.
Yeah, I think it was 4 days and then 1 day for preparation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the leaves one. I think I spent 1 day collecting leaves.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then I spent 1 day building it.
Wow.
Or drawing it. I don't know what this is called. Sculpting? Installing?
Installing, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And this is in a village where my friend lives, a bit up north in Sweden. And when I collected the leaves for this, I didn't realize how heavy they are when they're like semi-wet and when you need a lot. So I was taking this walk of about 5 kilometers, and half of the way I found this place with a lot of fallen leaves. But the bags to bring this back to this lawn, they were so heavy. It was crazy. But yeah,
And how is it that you found like this lawn in particular? Is it a public space or is it like you asked someone to use their property, or how did you find like
it's
this
actually
area?
public. It's public, but they
Okay.
also live right next to it. This is next to a beach. I don't know if you have a picture where you can kind of see. Yeah, you see the water here?
Oh wow, that's so cool. I didn't see this photo before.
This is a public beach, and I asked just the neighbors, like they live in this building with a few apartments. I just asked the neighbors. They're super kind, and it's a very quaint, small village, so everybody knows everybody. So people think it's fun when you do something. They don't get annoyed. Actually, people stopped when I did this, and they were like cheering me on because something was happening in the village.
Nice. At
So
the
yeah,
end,
that was
you have
nice.
to throw it away, or did you burn it?
I left it. I just left it as it was, and my friend sent me pictures. Like I think it was 2 weeks after. Like it's still here, but then it eventually disappeared, like with the weather.
And
Yeah.
eyes are made also from leaves because they're a different color, or
Yeah. No, they're made from a berry, and I don't know what that is called, even in Sweden. It's a white berry that grows on bushes in fall time, and so kids like to pick these berries and then stomp on them because they make a popping sound. So they're called something like popping berries. Everybody knows the name as popping berries or something like that. But I don't really know what the real name is, but it's this kind of white berry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I really like the whole thing around it, like that you have to collect specific things and to bring,
Yeah.
like the preparation process is also part of the artwork. So it's like physically engaging and interaction with nature and like environment, and this you have to find a spot. So it's kind of like not just sitting in a studio, it's kind of like whole wider.
Mm.
I was having brunch with a few friends today, and we were getting ready to leave, and everybody asked, like, what are you doing now? And I just said, I need some clay. And that's such a random comment to people who don't make art. Like, it's not, you always have the weirdest things. Like, I need some clay right now. What normal people need, like, we need toilet paper. They don't suddenly need clay. Like, it's, yeah. But that's, you do these things, right? You
What
get
did you
into
need
these
clay
weird,
for?
I need, it's for the show, actually. I'm gonna make something to put in the hand that it's, but it's
Nice.
ready now. Yeah.
Hey, it
I'm gonna,
works. Nice.
yeah, I'm gonna make something to put in it. And I want to do it, when you have the time, you really need to do it now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking that maybe another one, like you and I had talked about doing like the seasonal one, like the snow. And then I was just thinking because earlier we were having the conversation about all these different burning festivals. That might be cool too, is if you like did the outline of it and like burned just the outline, controlled, everything
That would
controlled,
be
obviously, but
so cool.
uh and
Yeah.
I don't know how you go about doing that, but that would be cool. That would be
That would
very
be
cool.
cool.
You know,
Or
I
like
saw.
Burning Man, just build it up and then set it on
Ah,
fire.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Mm,
Yes, I love this idea. I'll do it.
Yes.
I saw a
Nice.
video. It was on Instagram the other day, and I can't remember the name of the artist now, but it was from like the 60s, and he was drawing with a candle flame, but up. So he had the canvas above
Oh,
him, and he was guiding the flame around. He must have done some like a specific type of surface or something, but this, when I don't know if you've ever like had a candle too close to the ceiling or something, like, or
Yeah,
too
it's like
close
got
to a
that
wall, and it
soot.
makes it
good.
black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was drawing with the candle,
Mm.
and it gave this really cool effect because it had like different like heaviness of black and things like that, and it was kind of made this smoky looking drawing. It was really
Nice.
cool.
Which would be perfect for your goblin because like he's got that fuzz,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it would have that
Yeah.
kind of dispersed look. That could be cool too.
Yeah, it would be.
He's omnipresent, isn't he? He has this
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep. I think so. I just made a bunch of pillows that I have in my sofa right now. It's full of Fuzz Goblins.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
everywhere.
can you show one?
I should be able to, right?
Are they meant to be like, are they decorative or it's for
Or
something
no?
in particular?
Sorry, I just lost you guys for a second. Here we go.
Are the pillows, are they decorative, like meant to be decorative, or are they specifically for something else? Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, no, they're just supposed to be here. And I made.
Oh my gosh. Do you know, it reminds me of the Ghibli is it
Yes.
Howl's Moving Castle? I can't remember which film it is. Or is it Spirited Away?
Yeah,
And
I
the
think
little-
It's Spirited
yeah.
Away.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sit ones from Spirited Away. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Are you a
Because
fan?
just the head definitely looks like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Studio Ghibli. I didn't realize when I made it that it was reminiscent of that. But yeah, I can totally see it.
But I mean, it has a whole different thing when he has a human body and he has legs and he has height and like those little things seem almost like more elemental, if that makes sense. Like they're more like part of the ecosystem almost in the movie. But I mean, maybe you could argue that he's in the ecosystem, but he's more of like he's personified a bit more. He's got
Yeah.
sense, you know. There's a whole different set of like meanings that arrives when you give something a head and shoulders and legs and a bed.
Right. Yeah, suddenly they have appendages and they, you know,
Yeah.
like you said, they're personified. So now he's got these different seasonal personalities, you know, beach Fuzz Goblin and then like fall Fuzz Goblin.
Yeah. But it's also like I really like the idea that like the shape is like super simple in a way. Like
Yeah.
it just like reminds us of whatever we're projecting, like animal or human or whatever. But like the simplicity of the shapes give you the opportunity like to use it in different materials, different settings, like because like you don't have to lose the energy into trying to make it look like
Yeah.
something. So like it gives you more variety and more freedom to play with it like in more different ways. So that's what I like about it. Like it can be just a head, it can be floating head, it can be bunch of heads, it can be, like it
Yeah.
gives you so much more opportunities.
It really does. It's so simple, and that's probably why I kind of stopped to do anything but that. So it always, turns out good. It's never like, no, I couldn't make this round shape with two other round shapes. That's so easy. So I'm so drawn to that because one very frustrating thing about creating art is that you're never satisfied. Like you have this brilliant idea in your head and then it comes out and it's like not the same as in your head and you always get disappointed. And with this, it's less of a disappointment. So it's a really good feeling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Like I like that also. Like because
Yeah,
like also when you're working with like something three-dimensional that includes sewing and different materials, like you have more chances to be happy with it, at least me.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's great.
Yeah, nice.
I had a realization when I was looking at photos that you took from with drone, that when you think about eyes, God's eyes view or that perspective, we as humans are not we are not counted. Is that the word?
Accustomed?
No, no, no. Where we are not taken into account. Is there one word? Nevertheless, you know what I want to say. We don't matter as humans. Like if you think like you see the houses and everything, like that perspective is like we are completely erased. Like we are just patches there in order for you to have God's eye view, you know. So I never noticed that before. All I've seen the big things that they made like in Peru, I think, yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
the Nazca
The animal
Things
mountains, yeah.
but there were no humans around or nothing humanly like. But this is interesting because there are houses and there's a beach, but you don't
So it
give it up
feels
about it.
like
Yeah.
it's meant to somebody like aliens or God or somebody else. It's not like meant for humans to consume it because like from the perspective
Oh,
from the ground, like you cannot perceive it. Like you have to be high above it to see the whole picture. Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
interesting
yeah,
point.
yeah. That's true.
And then you have your physical embodied Fuzz Goblin as well. So you see him from all these different in different mediums, but also perspectives, you know? So
Yeah.
like you're saying, who was saying it? That maybe it was Rosie that was saying about it being part of the environment, you know? Like if you were just to walk by, you wouldn't maybe notice that he's there. And then unless he's built up into the what you've created as this like personification of him in like a human size-ish form, like larger than life, you know, like larger than human size. Uh but then also he's in the sand and he's in the leaves and also this is what River put was the similar to the soot sprites in the film. Like they're just kind of these elements and he's kind of blending in the same way,
Yeah, I like
coming
that.
from the leaves and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very religious work that you did actually when you
But
think about
Yeah.
it.
you know,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, you are the only one who knows his essence. So, like, you can build it like in different, like, it's kind of like there's different realms of existence. So it's kind of like he can be flat or he can be three-dimensional. He can be, like, and then like you're the only one who knows him, so you can make him.
Yeah.
There's also like, I feel like there's a lot of care and like tenderness in the way that you're making him and the way that you're creating him, I guess. Because I was just about to suggest like something, I was thinking about like big scale drawing, and I had some friends from school who drew a giant well, they drew something on the school field using
Please say it. We are recording.
We're recording.
yeah. You can use your imagination, but they drew, it was a boys' school. They drew something on the field of the school using weed killer. So it burnt the grass and it didn't grow back for like years.
Oh, wow.
And you could see it from space. Anyway, I was like, oh, maybe you could draw like the Fuzz Goblin in the grass. And then I was like, oh, I don't know, that's kind of like quite anarchic kind of, I don't know, you're sort of disrupting the land. And I don't know if that's really the vibe. I mean, maybe it is, but for me, it's not the vibe that you're going for. It's like the way that you're creating this being is a lot more, there's a lot more care and involved to me anyway, but
yeah,
maybe you could draw it into
it
the field.
reminded me of, like, it's maybe a little bit off topic, but like maybe it would be interesting. Like I saw like reverse graffiti. People are doing this kind of like cleaning with some machines.
Yeah.
So like they use the stencils, and in the city where the ground is like super dirty, like they just clean it, so no one can say that you did graffiti. It's technically not illegal to clean the pavement. So it could be an idea also, like to interventions in the city.
That would be cool with like a power washer in like a parking lot, for example.
I think that's what they use. Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have to come back to or go to Barcelona or Valencia and do it on one of the graffiti walls, and you can just like power wash away your Fuzz Goblin again.
That would be great.
It does feel like the ephemerality of the creature is a core part of it, like you were just saying, because you were saying that like there was something about loneliness or feeling like a stranger or feeling like an outsider, where the creature never fully belongs and therefore it doesn't have a home in a particular place. So the less time that it stays somewhere, the more it is itself, because wherever he is, he's the outsider. So I really like the leaves, how like over time it just decays, back into, or the sand, it like washes away on the beach, that sort of a thing. I think cleaning it off or burning it with weed killer, that's a little, maybe it's sticking around a little longer than the spirit needs to.
Yeah, that temporary presence.
I would really have loved to do it in snow, but it didn't work out this year.
Well, it's like an ongoing project, right? Next year.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's only a few months before you get snow again. So.
Yes. When I come there, I'm sure there will be snow. So.
Yeah.
It just kind of occurred to me too. It's like a liminal space, like, the in-between spaces, like it was on public transportation, on the train, like it's like kind of like in movement, in snow, in a season, that sort of a thing. I'm wondering, like, as you evolve the concept, like, could there ever be any healing for the character where you do find its permanent home, or is the definition of it that it never will? Or what might it look like if you did have some kind of a permanence for the character?
That's a really good question. I think maybe on the inside of the earth or something, where all the fire is.
Yeah.
Or maybe some kind of like slow decay, like a slower, like a longer presence, but there's still over time it disappears slowly. I don't know what that
That's
would be.
there was a girl that was in residence um in Belgrade that did the chair that she covered in seeds, the bird seed. And then
Oh,
she videoed it over like time lapse video, and the birds like came and ate away at the seeds and everything on there. That could be something really interesting if you made him like a small version of him and then a time lapse and like watched as the nature just ate up the seeds that you poured
yeah.
out in his form.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But there is
Just gonna
something.
You
grab
could
my
do it in
cup.
like the city center somewhere where there's a lot of pigeons and just watch how it gets
Mm.
gets
Yeah,
destroyed or like decomposed or eaten,
yeah.
by
But
the
I'm
center being in
sending the
there, like
link from
surviving there.
this, what
what
of this.
about making him big and then around him, not him, but or is it him, by the way?
Yeah,
Or
it's
is
Yeah,
it
We
yeah,
all keep
yeah,
calling it
yeah,
him, yeah.
yeah.
yeah. I
Around
think
or
so.
somewhere, I don't know where you burn something, you produce fire because his eyes are like
Yeah,
oh. And then you film it, and then there's
yeah,
like a
only
big
the eyes
fire.
cannot be burned. They
No, no,
can
no,
be like from the
you
stones and everything else gets burned.
yeah,
The
your
yeah,
eye
head, yeah,
stays.
yeah, something like that. That's
yeah. I like the
is his
fire
power,
thing.
but the look is like always there because I see in my mind him or it, whatever he or it is like is this side like they're looking the way they're looking. It's like yeah, there is immense
You know,
subtleness and also inquisitiveness in them. So it is like
Mm,
But also it brings all the questions like about the gaze and who is watching, and like it could be interpreted in so many different ways, you know. It's kind of like it can be like spiritual meaning, like who is watching in a way that like I got inspiration from, you know, on Netflix. It's like who is watching, like when you should switch the
yeah.
so I got the connection with like all this spiritual meaning, like when you're meditating, like who is the one that's like watching the like is it you that
Yes.
you think that it's you like in that sense. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like these eyes could represent also this, but it can be like the God's eye, you know, like there is like
Mm,
eye of a Horus or something like so it like with the eyes it could be in so many different ways like that you can go deeper into